Welcome into the College Sportsbook. Always a pleasure to be with you talking college football, taking a look at the odds, insights, and all that good stuff. This is our Florida video, state of Florida video. But before we get started, remember to like and subscribe to the College Sportsbook always so you get the latest both game previews as well as picks for the weekend. Hit the button, all that good stuff. You see my cohort there, Tom Lang, Warchant.com, and many other entities like the Jeff Cameron Show. Hey, guys, we got to pimp everything while we're here. But like and subscribe to the College Sportsbook, of course, so that you get these latest videos. Here we hyper-focus on the state of Florida. So let's do it. Hello, Tom. Let's get to the games themselves. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the victorious Florida State Seminoles over the Miami Hurricane? No, you don't want to start there.
I want to start with a dumpster fire in Gainesville. What do you say? we warned people last week. We warned people again, after the South Carolina game. Listen, Samford's a different animal because they should be worse in theory, but anybody who saw that halftime score where Samford's on pace to score over 80 points in the Swamp, it's the most first half points the Gators have ever given up in program history to Samford. Yeah. Now you play a team in the SEC, Power 5 team in Mizzou that's not very good as well. But, I mean, how can you trust Florida at this point? That's why I wanted to bring this one to the table first because, my God, it's a mess in Gainesville.
Well, we rightfully guided the folks the last few weeks. We said run for the hills if you want to bet that game. If you want to bet a Gator game right now, you need help. First of all, don't do that unless you're live betting, at which point you're just looking to see if they decided to quit or try on that particular day, and you never really know. It looked like last week, certainly one side of the ball decided they really didn't care to be there. Yep. The other side did what a team with the talent Florida has should do. They scored a bunch of points against an FCS school. I think they'll score a bunch of points here too, Tom, against Mizzou. Everybody does. I mean, everybody does. Yep. Missouri's defense is an abomination to defense everywhere. So Florida should be able to move the ball. I'm sure it's going to be rather inclement weather this time of year, but I still think they'll move the ball up and down the field. But I can't trust Florida to play hard on defense. So I'm not going to take a side. I'm going to take a look at that total, which you see on your screen is 69.5, and I'm saying over. I think both teams score a bunch of points here. If I had to, you've twisted my arm, I'd probably take Florida to win the game and cover, but I'm not. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that, guys. Monitor the game. Find out whether or not they care to play. If they do, ride that over.
Yeah, that's it. It's live and it's the over, and that also gives you a little bit of leeway to look at the weather report too. Because I don't think 69.5, 70.5, 71.5, that doesn't change my opinion on this game should be, in the stratosphere in terms of total offense. So for that reason, I would say wait till the end. A couple of points here or there don't kill you. Take a look at the weather report. If conditions are conducive to scoring, and you see that first and second drive for each team, and they're putting up points, hammer it at that point, see if you can get it in the mid-70s, because this could be a redux of what we saw in Gainesville between the Gators and Samford, a game that scored a combined, well, I think it was over 100 points, right? So, that's where I would stick with the over. Florida doesn't care to play defense, and I don't think that's going to change on the road this week, man.
Yeah, by the way, that was well over 100 points. It wasn't just narrowly getting over that 100-point marker. It was well beyond. Let's move it along and take a look at our next game and figure out where we want to go with this one. It's an interesting time of year. We warn you all the time that Vegas is kind of on these teams, got a pretty good feel for a lot of them. UCF, however, a 30.5-point favorite against a listless, useless UConn team. I would say this, again, I don't know if UConn feels – I don't care. Well, actually, it applies to both teams. I don't know if either one of these teams feel like playing this game right now. UConn's had a terrible year again, and UCF has had a bitterly disappointing year, as I predicted they would. Now, I know quarterback injuries tend to derail your season, but they're not well coached. And I think you're seeing this now at the end of the year. They're not real active in these games either. Run from that spread and look at that total again, 59.5. We're going over. I'm going to be a guy on totals this weekend.
That's interesting. So UConn's only score last week was the opening kickoff against Clemson. Clemson, a bit of a different defense in terms of caliber than UCF, and we know that very well. But I remember last week talking about the UCF road trip to SMU, and I said, I only trust Gus Malzahn when he's about to get fired, right? That's like the theorem of Gus Malzahn with the Iron Bowl against Alabama. When you think he's on the brink of getting fired, his back is into a corner, that's when you jump on Gus Malzahn. This does not qualify in that situation. I don't even know that I like a total here. I don't know that I like the game at all because UCF's coming back from their tail between their legs. I think it was 55-22, something like that they lost to SMU. I don't know where their head's at. UConn is mailing it in. No way, man. This is a game I won't watch. I won't live bet. I want it off my screen right now. I'm taking it off the screen. No. No.
We kind of have to take a side on the show, Tom. We got to take a something. I just went over because neither of them play defense. So that's what I did.
Sometimes I'll tell you, we talked about this last week. When I woke up on game day for Florida State Miami, I had Miami in the money line. I got that early on Monday of last week because Jordan Travis was not available on Sunday, and it sounded like not available on Monday either for FSU. So I jumped to the Miami money line. Once we found out everybody was healthy, the best bet I could have made, buddy, was cashing out my ticket. I don't know why I just sounded like a Midwesterner, but it was a $50 bet. I got it for $2.50 is what I had to give the Hard Rock to take that money away. It ended up being a $47.50 profit for me. So sometimes the best bet you make is no bet at all.
Yeah, luckily I, of course, took Florida State to win the game outright. Let's move it along to the next game. You're right, by the way. What Tom's saying here is worth listening to, at least in terms of the lesson learned. You don't like a game, don't bet it. We don't have to bet on every game. I know we're inclined to want to bet on every game. I, too, would like to bet on every single sporting event that is currently being played right now, anywhere in the world, but you don't have to. All right, Miami is giving points to Virginia Tech. Ordinarily, I'd say take Virginia Tech in this game. Miami's has to be on quit watch. They just fired their athletic director. They've got their famous alumni, former players meeting, having a round table that's lasting hours on end to talk about how can they save this program, which has not mattered in 20 years, all that stuff. But I don't know. Virginia Tech just fired their coach. Justin Fuente just got fired. Virginia Tech has looked listless forever and a day. This is a game that I don't want to watch either, Tom. Goodness gracious. I think Miami is still playing hard. I do.
Yes.
And so if that's the case, I would take Miami if you force me to. In fact, that's the side I'll take. I don't like it, but I'll take Miami and give the 7.5. This is not on my personal card, everybody.
Yeah. Let me give you a number off the board that I really like, because I think Miami is very much enjoying playing offense right now. I think that, obviously with Van Dyke and what he can do, the receivers.
Well, that's why I'm taking him here. Yeah.
You're going to run routes for that guy. Jalen Knighton can score anytime he touches the ball. You saw the run and the broken tackle against Florida State in the fourth quarter last week. Virginia Tech doesn't have the will, I don't think. But I'm not going to play a side, nor am I going to play the game total. The team total for Miami is 32.5. I like going north on that one. If Virginia Tech is on quit watch against this particular quarterback, that skill set on offense for Miami down there in Miami, I think that they could put up a ton of points in this game.
Well, you just intrigued me. That means the team total for Virginia Tech is over 20.
Correct, it is. Yes.
Oh, no. We're going south on Virginia Tech's team total. See, Tom and I just worked out a wager right here.
There it is. Yeah. 23.5 is the total.
Oh, under for Virginia Tech. Nope. You know what? You're going north on the 30+ for Miami. That makes more sense to me. I think we're leaning towards a Miami blowout. Listen to us. Give me Virginia Tech below 23.5. I don't see it. All right. And then finally, we get Florida State at Boston College. This is an important game. Boston College is still playing hard, still fighting. They got their quarterback back. He's good. He's an NFL caliber player. So, of course, he came back. And if you're a Florida State fan, you roll your eyes. But listen, it's big boy football time. These are the games that matter. You're riding high off a huge win against Miami. Your quarterback's probably playing with more confidence than he ever has. BC's defense is not your traditional Boston College defense. They're not good. They give up a lot of points to people with a pulse. Florida State has a pulse and a whole lot of want to. This is a fun game. The Noles are an underdog. I like them to win. Give me the Noles on the money line.
Yeah. Wrong team is favored here. I totally agree. This is a group that has been mature this year, so I think they're going to be mature enough to even when they're 0-4, they played hard for Coach Norvell.
Yeah.
That tells me that they are wired to be the type of team that will get on a plane, go to a cold Chestnut Hill on a Saturday at noon, sleepy kickoff time, and be ready to go. If they are, they handle business on the road here. Jurkovich, only opponents this year that he's played significant snaps are Colgate, Virginia Tech, when their quarterback got hurt, so that game was moot, and then Georgia Tech last week. He's about to see the best front four he's seen all season long. And quietly, man, the ACC has a lot of adequate to pretty good quarterback play at the college level. There's nothing that this quarterback will do to Florida State's defense that it hasn't seen before. Devin Leary, Sam Howell, Van Dyke, even the opening effort from Notre Dame and some of the throws that the Irish put on the
Cohn played like Joe Montana.
Right. There's nothing that this kid does that is different than what the Noles have seen. They'll be prepared for the test. And I think if you want to ride a hot hand for the last 2 weeks, take a look at Florida State very closely this week and next. And I'm sure we'll talk about that as the Noles and Gators clash in the final week of the season too.
That's it. That's all for the state of Florida and the college sportsbook preview of said teams in the state. We'll do it again next weekend. As always, like and subscribe. For Tom Lang, I'm Jeff Cameron. Enjoy the football, everybody, and we'll talk to you again soon.